What's going on, NuCanoe Nation, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? It's going to be a hot one tonight. I can already see a bunch of folks in here, and it's great to see that. We got Anthony Rydell Jr. watching on the old YouTube. He said, let's go, Mike. Hogan Nash is claiming he was here first. I don't know, man. I think Anthony beat you, but man, we got JD DeRozier in the house. What's up, Brian? What's up, my brother? Hope you're doing well. Got an epic show for you guys. I know you got so many people know this guy, right? And I finally got a chance to spend a week hanging out with this guy in the NuCanoe booth down at ICAST, and it happened. We got him. We're super stoked. This is like our welcome to the team for Mike Manivanh in the house. Guys, gals, watching, listening, drop in the comments where you guys are tuning in from, what kind of kayak you're floating out of. We don't even care if it's not a NuCanoe. We just love that you're here, showing some love to our brother Mikey. If you guys missed any of the iCast footage, you can go back, rewatch Facebook, YouTube. Listen to it on all the major podcast platforms. Just like this show here, we upload that every week, and we're here every Tuesday night, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, 5 o'clock out on the West Coast. So let's get the man of the hour in here. Enough of me. Let's talk to the man, the myth, the legend, the real rigging genius behind Westbrook Supply Co., Mr. Mike Manivanh.
What is up, Brian? What is up, man? It is a pleasure seeing you again.
I just got to say, like, you paid me to say that instead of, like, Fletch being the rigging genius, right?
I didn't, but, hey, I'll take it. I'll take anything I can right now, right?
I'm just kidding, man. No, it was a pleasure to spend time in the booth with you, man. And, you know, I got some friends that are close to you, and I was chatting with them after ICAST. I said, you know that Mike Manivanh guy, man, he is one of the most positive, cheerful dudes. And I was telling you this before the show, like, he can put a smile on your face even on your worst day. You know what I mean?
That's
and it's good, dude. It's infectious, and we need more people like you in the sport of kayak fishing, and we definitely have a lot of them, right? But
yeah,
it was killer to spend some time with you, brother. Welcome to the team, man.
Oh man, it's thank you for having me. I mean, it's right now. It's kind of one of those surreal things because, man, I was able to hang out with you guys for a week, like you said. Got a chance to see, the new family.
Yeah.
See what I did there. But
I like it. I like it.
It's one of those things where it's like, you just feel right. When you hang out, you'll have one of those. Hey, give me one of those. All right, big brother, I got you. Let's take care of what we got in the booth. And when things were handed, it was like, all right, well, yeah, I'm part of the booth. We built this. Me and Fletch built this thing, which thanks to NuCanoe and and all the sponsors we had to build that. It was fun, and for us to build against who we built against was amazing too. So we'll touch back base with that.
Yeah, we'll definitely hammer on that for sure, man. That was one of the coolest things, like, this year for us, like, in myself personally, like, I got to be the guy to cover all that good stuff. You know what I mean? And to see what you and Fletch and Westbrook Supply did with that build out, and what Romel did with his, like, it was so cool, man. And I loved every second of it.
We all had a blast in the booth, and watching the footage, watching it go down, seeing things unveil before it was unveiled. It was mind blowing, So seeing it firsthand is, and to take that back, to where we're at, and to have that, I guess, knowledge now to do so here is to grow.
Sure.
So
sure.
Definitely.
Well, it's cool to like feed off that. Like, when I build out my boats, dude, I'm looking at photos like of boats you guys are rigging at your shop, photos of what Romel's doing on the West Coast, things I see in the NuCanoe owners group, and all the other boat manufacturers owners groups, man. It's like, that's a thing. Like, I always compare rigged out kayaks to like hot rods, right? Like, you can put your own personal touches on it to make it your own personal thing,
pimp my kayak, right?
Exactly.
So,
Mikey
I
needs
mean,
a show. Let's go.
hey, look, everybody wants to be one off sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you want to be one off, sometimes you want to be unique, and guess what? We can do it. You know, and to touch base with that, we are, Westbrook Supply Company is growing, so we are moving to a bigger shop. From a smaller building to bigger shop. So we're able to bring in more, to be able to do more. So with that being said, yes, there's going to be a lot more custom rigging. It's definitely going to be a lot more filming, more footages in the show. So you definitely are going to see more updates with Westbrook Supply Company growing. So, and shout out to Fletch, man, to, just to be humbling to be able to take me under his wings, to be able to grow with him. So, kudos to that too. So, yeah.
No, for sure, man. And I got to spend a few
Definitely,
minutes
Craig, for doing it.
with Fletch alone, and we were kind of chatting about kayak shops and stuff like that. And I didn't know you guys were expanding. You got a new shop like right next door.
Surprise!
And well, I saw Fletch posted up that the shop's getting tattooed, and I was like, that is sweet, But
Gotcha.
it's super cool, man, because I've seen you guys, grow over the past couple of years. And
Yeah.
obviously everybody knows Westbrook Supply Co. You guys have always crushed it, and you guys got an
Hopefully, always in
amazing
the best
team.
ways.
Yeah, I
We
mean, you
try.
guys got an amazing team of anglers, and you guys are always doing things right. You know what I mean?
We
And
try.
and and speaking of Fletch, he says, "Ask Mikey about D."
How about no?
No, all right. I mean, the boss man's asking for something, so I gotta throw that in there. You know what I mean?
Uh, I think he wants to grab lunch tomorrow from Wendy's tomorrow, so
Oh,
I'll cook
okay.
some
All right,
Wendy's
all
tomorrow
right.
for him.
He wants that baconator, bro. Make
Yeah,
sure
he
you get the
does.
large fries,
The
not the
double.
small. Little frosty action for afterwards. I love it,
You
dude.
got me,
I love it.
brother. You got me.
Well, let's start with this, bro. Like, let's take back a step, right? And for those people that may not know who you are, how did you get into fishing and kayak fishing, and what landed you in a NuCanoe eventually?
Well, of course, started, you know, live bait fishing with my uncles, my dad since I was little.
Okay.
Lake Lanier was just happened to be the closest, place that we'd go to all the time, or what I would remember. Going from there, grew apart from that, and then started, finding like-minded friends that like doing the things I want to do. So started bank fishing, bank fishing to very inexpensive kayak fishing, and going from that, I was like, well, let's get a John boat, start striper fishing. So bringing all the striper products like a little metal drift masters onto a little plastic kayak. I'm striper fishing, live bait fishing, and then once you started finding out that you can actually kayak fish off of a kayak that had a good stability and a good platform, you want to do more.
Sure.
So of course now kayak bass fishing starts growing, and now it's like, hey, I want to compete because I'm competitive, but most importantly, I like just growing and just meet new folks, getting in the water. But for the most part, just growing and learning new things is always one of those things I love to do, was just learning new things, man. And once you can find out that you can actually kayak fish and do it competitively, man, I'm all for it. So yeah, man, sign me up.
Right
I'm
on.
always want to learn.
No, I love that, man. I love that for sure. So how did you get synced up with Fletch and Westbrook?
Oh man, Dean Bolin Jr. He's one of our team members. OG. I did a striper tournament on a kayak. It was my first tournament. It was probably like 10, 12 folks. It was live bait. And I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna go do it because I'm a striper guy. Plastic boat, striper fishing. All right, I'm in. So I go in. I'm fishing, catching my fish. I didn't read the rules, but I strung him up. I took him back with me, and then when I went to the weigh-in, they were like, "What's your fish?" Well, I mean, I took the picture of it, but it was on the banks, and it wasn't right. But I was like, my fish is in the cooler if you really want to measure it. I was like, all right. So they looked, they're like, all right, well, he got first place.
Nice.
So I was like, cool, first tournament, first striper tournament. I was like, all right, so I'm sold. And then, like you said, as things progress, bass fishing, tournament started growing on kayaks. So I was like, hey, let me broaden my horizon and let's do this. Cause like I said, I love learning new things. And then when you put something that you love to do and then new challenges with it, you put that together, it's makes it, even better. And then when you meet new people along the way that loves to do what you do, that's even more better. So it's like, it's just one of those passions that just keeps growing because, there's more fuel to that passion every day. So, man, so this industry has just been forever growing for me and, and forever bettering me as a person. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, man.
We got a question in the chat. Charles Ashley Shellnut says, ask him what is a Logan hole.
Well, Logan hole. Well, those are my Logan hole boys, also known as some boys that are from Loganville, Georgia, right? Small town out here in the cuts of, back behind of Gwinnett County. But the Logan hole boys, they are some good old fishing boys that just love to get together. That just get little, what do you call those, when tournament time comes, they get those little cabins together.
Sure.
Little cabin place or campsites, and we just have that little brotherhood camaraderie. So it's like one of those Logan hole crew that we have. So shout out to the Logan hole crew, for putting me on blast, but I love you guys. And but no, that is the Logan hole boys. And yes, and if y'all don't know who Charles Shellnut is, man, then y'all should follow him too. So yeah, he's a hammer out here, and he's definitely one of those loving guys, man, that definitely put me on a lot of bass. So yeah, kudos to him too. Love you, Shellnut.
Yeah, I saw it up. I didn't know. I mean, Logan hole, that could have gone many different ways, so I had to bring it up, right?
Yeah, no, that's always a question. That's like Logan hole. Yeah, but that's actually a board game that he made up, and he's from Loganville, so we called it Logan hole.
Got it. Got it. Right on. Well, so when did you start working at Westbrook?
It was, and Fletch could probably fill in on this one. It's probably full on, like I'd say about right at a year and a half.
Okay.
I'd say right after my surgery on my shoulder. So I used to work for electrical supply company, and was doing well. And then after surgery, things had kind of went downhill from recovery and just things like that, and just kind of hitting the dark side, you know what I'm saying? So sure. I've never been through that before. And to be able to, like, how do you say this? Like, to be the man of the house, right? And then to be like immobile and just be like just shot down and be able to not do anything. It kills you. Yeah. But this angling family that I had, that helps me through therapy. Sorry, I do get, a little emotional because this is my passion. This is what, anyways, my family seen, a lot, right? But my kayak family has seen a lot more because they see what I lived through. And that's why I'm always so positive, because I've been through the dark side, right? We've been through the deep. But with that being said, though, like, you get the opportunities to see the people that's been through the same. And then you're like, wow, there is a brighter side to things, right? So you're like, you've been through this and we're fishing together. Fishing is therapy. Kayak fishing is therapy. Like, I mean, just getting my shoulder training back from water paddles, like, that's therapy. So, like, to have the friends and family to be able to support you, to be able to let you do what you do, and say, hey, I got the family while you're out there doing what you're doing, working the whole week at ICAST, like, to support me to do what I love. Like, that's what makes me smile every day. And in return, I like to bring that smile to everybody else. You get what I'm saying? Like, so I
definitely hear you,
the passion is real. They call it hype. They call it whatever you want to call it. But the hype is real for me. And I'm selling that hype because I've been through it and I'm living through it and I'm giving it out free 99, baby. Free 99.
I love it. I love the way you put that. And it shows. it shows, right? Like we talked about, man. You're
I'm
always
not
a
gonna lie, man.
positive dude.
I didn't think I was gonna like get this like straight up deep, bro. Like, I mean,
No, it's
I love you,
good,
bro.
right?
Like, hey, look, that's what new family is about, and for me to feel that comfortable to do this, like, that's why I'm here. You get what I'm saying? Like, the story is here, so here I am. Take it how I am, 100.
I
Get it?
love it.
You know.
I love
So
it. I love it. No, I mean it truly shows, man. And I've met a lot of people in my life, and you could tell people that have ridden the roller coaster of life, right?
yeah,
And right now it seems like you're up on top and you're just hanging there. And we all hit those slumps, and it's sometimes it's easier to talk to our brothers in the plastic boats than it is those closest to us, you know what I mean? And my man JD's in the house. He said, we've had long and deep talks. You're an inspiration. And that's just it, man. Like if we can inspire each other to be positive, and it's one of those things, man. It's always stuck out. Like Westbrook Wednesday, when Scott
shout out
Butcher
to
was
Scott
talking
Butcher,
about that, man.
Love that guy.
And it's one of those things. It's something crazy about people in these little plastic boats that brings us all together, with a common goal. And that's always stuck out to me, right? And it's very apparent and obvious, man.
Well, I mean, I greatly appreciate it, man, and I mean, I'm very humbled to be able to, I guess, share my story. I mean, I guess somewhat until you actually really hang out, with this guy, right? Because I mean, you can see what I'm about on, on this and the social media stuff, man. But like you
Sure.
said, you really have to really get to know somebody and really hang out with them for about a week and really get to be like, man, that guy Mike is annoying sometimes, dude. But until you actually get a whole week with me, you can't talk about me. So you got a 1 week, expiration on me. So, you got to get that chance first.
No, man, I was sad to see you go, and us separate our separate ways and go home. And
Dude, I was screaming out the window like, hey, Brian!
Yeah, I know you guys came ripping past us, honking, and I'm like, who's that? And then I saw the kayak hanging out of the back and the Westbrooks sticker, and I was like, that was definitely Mikey hanging out of Fletch's truck.
Yeah, well, that was Dino's truck, and Fletcher was probably knocked out by then, and I was just hanging out like just screaming out the window. I was like, Brian! But, yeah, man, good times, man. It was just, like meeting the guys from the warehouse, like Brian Conley, man. Like it was just, shout out to Brian, but like these guys, like they showed true family, and it was one of those things. It was like, yeah, man, we got you, and we were able to work together. We're able to just, hey, can you do this for me? Yeah, I got you. It was one of those things. We just connected, well. And when, y'all guys pretty much asked Fletch, right? Y'all like, hey, you think Mike's gonna be a good fit? I can't say what he physically said, like really said, to Stewart about it, but he's like, no, right? Okay. But and then so they're like, all right, Mike, welcome to the team. I was like, he just said no. But I was like, all right, I guess they see something in me, Fletch. So, D's on you. Uh-oh. Freezing.
Sorry about that. Internet's going in and out. I know that I talked to Fletch right after that happened, and he said you guys got one of the best ones out there. And it was super cool to hear that, man. And kudos to you, bro.
Man, I'm super humbled that y'all heard that, because he wouldn't have told me he did that. So,
well, he's got to keep you on point. He wants you to show up for work, bro.
Yeah. Bright-eyed, bushy tail tomorrow, first day, right?
But it's true, man. I mean, there's some guys in the kayak fishing world, man, that just stick out, and you're definitely one of them. Especially, you mentioned something earlier, right? Like you could see who I am on social media and Facebook posts and videos and stuff, but until you hang out with me for a week, you don't really know me. And that's just it, dude. Like I've been following you forever, right? Like since I got into this game, like, and until I got to spend a week with you, I was like, holy crap, dude, this guy is even cooler in person than he is online. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to kiss your butt, dude, but I'm
No,
sure
man.
every person in this chat, dude, just reading through all these comments,
He
like
said he
right now.
can't handle whole week, man, because you know.
Some guy, you know, coolest dude to fish with, you know,
Appreciate
go
that, man.
Mikey,
Shout out. We gotta get down to the Flint soon, man.
you
Now that
know,
they open up Yellow Jacket, right?
somebody's in saying they're coming into the shop tomorrow to give you a big old wet kiss, you know.
Man, bring it. I'm ready.
It's one of those things, dude. You are a very personable person, and it's super cool, man. And I'm so proud of you, and proud to be able to call you a teammate now, bro.
Man, I'm greatly appreciated to be able to call you a team member, man, a new family member. So it's it's one of those things where you can feel where it connects.
Sure.
You don't have to push anything. You don't have to pressure anything. It just connected. And when it did, it just felt right. You know, while Fletch, was screaming no, you know, everything was one of those, yeah, it worked. And,
Sure.
and it was just awesome because, be able to hang out, have dinner, you know, with the family and just to be able to have conversations and just kind of grow and know each other better. It was awesome. It was amazing because not only did I got to learn one story, but I got to learn, a handful of stories of other people's lives. And to me, knowing other people's stories, it makes me better myself as my story in life. You know what I'm saying? So
Sure.
it's one of those things that it makes you appreciate your life better. So, knowing other and understanding other people's stories. So, it's one of those things where it kind of goes back to be thankful for what you got, right? And I'm humble for what I have right now, man, because if I'm not standing, I wouldn't be having anything. So as I'm standing, man, I'm humbled to have everything. So
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. Well, let's talk about the build off, man. I know it got a lot of traction, and you know,
yeah, very good.
you guys did an amazing job, and it was funny because the voting was neck and neck. I think it
Oh,
was
dude,
like 10 vote difference, and I see Romel in the chat, right? And
my man, Romel, dude, kudos, bro.
when the voting opened, you guys were crushing it. And I know it was all those Westbrook people, man, they were voting Mikey and Fletch the whole way. And then I forget who it was. They were like, Romel's from the West Coast. They're 2 hours behind. Give them a minute. And it was like 2 hours
Yep.
later, it was neck and neck. And it went that way for the 2 days of voting and stuff. But let's talk about the build, man. You guys put your heart and soul into that. You did some really cool stuff.
I mean, huge kudos to Fletch because he blew my mind when he started coming out with these parts. He was like, "Hey, he's like, I just got this thing called Power Pucks, right?" I was like, "Power Pucks." I was like, "Yeah, it's like pretty much it makes your plug in on your trolling motor just kind of like wireless." I'm like, "All right, cool. I'll wait till I see it." And of course, waiting for stuff to come in from all the sponsors that we got. And huge shout out to all the sponsors like Motor Guide, Power Pucks, Lowrance, Yak Gadget, stuff like that, and all those guys. And so when those products came in, of course he's already ordering other things on online and stuff like that. And so he's like, "Ooh, I got something up my sleeves. It's about $10." I'm like, $10. I'm like, all right. So we're of course working. We're waiting on the mail to come in. He's like, "Dude, check this out." So he tells me, so of course we get into it. We gotta start wiring things, installing things. Next thing you know, pushes a little button with a little battery. It's like honk honk. We're like, a horn? Dude, that was exactly your same exact reaction when he hit that button the first time. When he turned that thing on, he was like, "Watch this, beep beep." You're like, and everybody that walked by was just like, "Train horn? Really? A $10 little tool, a little Amazon thing, right?
Yep.
For $10." And of course, a little bit of his genius wiring he did.
Sure.
And next thing you know, he's like, "Mike, check this, beep beep." I'm just like, boom. Dude, if you're at a lake like where I fish at a lot, like Lake Lanier, dude, that is one of the most perfect things to have.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're probably going to keep a full stock of those things, in the shop coming up. But just to let you guys know, man, we are about to start rigging the heck out of some horns on some kayaks. It could be just for, for funds, or it could really be for safety, right?
Sure, absolutely.
But either way, come see us, man. We'll get it rigged up. So
if I had a buck for every time that horn went off in the booth last week, I'd probably be sitting on about $400 or $500. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that was
and it was funny because, like, some of the kayak folks from around the industry, we're watching. They were paying attention to the build off and everything. We had announced it and people knew it was happening. Yeah. So they come by the booth and they're like, I got to see this horn thing. It was the horn and Romel's Siri setup. And it was just like,
dude, that blew everything out of the water. Oh, trust me. I was walking around while he was installing these things, right? He was just like looking around, plugging these things up in the hatch. He was like, what you looking at, bro? Got you. Yeah. I was like, all right. I was like, I got you. All right, man. I know you got something. Once I saw that little home thing device, man, I'm like,
it's over.
Yeah. And trust me, I've slick watched all his builds. He the recent build that he did with Greg Blanchard, like with just that two-tone, starboard, just CNC machine. By the way, we still got to call him about getting that machine coming, over here on our side too. But just watching that and just we were just like, that's awesome and creative, But yeah, man, starting and then for us to have the Bluetooth speaker into the gear pod. We ran Yak Power because, of course, that's one of the products that we sell at the shop, and so they shipped us all this stuff out. It was like, hey, use whatever we got you. And so we plugged everything up, made it all nice and light. So we're like, hey, we're gonna keep it traditional. We're gonna light it up. Fan loves light ups, right? Little lights and everything. So, but it's traditional build.
Sure.
But but other than that, man, it's definitely a one of a kind build that we did, one off. We did put a lot of time into it because we sat there. I mean, if me and Fletch didn't stand there together, like, I guess both of us had one whole brain per se, because like if one of us were standing there, we're sitting there like twice as long thinking about it. But if he were to come look at me and I would like, oh, okay, use your whole brain with my half brain, we'll get it going. So that's how it always was. So
sure,
with that, a lot of time and thought into it, to kind of keep it simple, how we would transport it, because we knew Ramel didn't have a boat. So we were like, yeah, we got at least an advantage. But, with his expertise and all his modern technology, we knew what we were up against. So with that being said, like, kudos to Ramel. Now that we can bring that back to the East Coast, with some one-off builds per se, and just know that he's going to be getting a lot more phone calls from me because, there's going to be some things that he can build that he's still going to have to ship my way for my personal builds. So,
yeah, I had that same conversation with him as well. So we'll keep him busy. Absolutely.
And on top of that, man, huge shout out to that too, man, because, before we left, you already know what, he put in my laps, man, before we left. And a huge shout out to Newport Vessels, for allowing me to join the family as well out there. So, kudos to that. And most definitely, just know that I'm going to be represented well. Love it. And definitely believe in the products that I'm running and promoting, and the ones that are believing in me for me to show them what I can do for them. So, amen. Kudos to that, man.
I love that, man. It's couldn't be better, more.
She just refilled my drink because she knew that I was like thirsty.
Couldn't be a better dude. It's good to see all the friendships and new business venture that you made down there at ICAST.
Man, cool. Dude, you know what? Shout out to Chris, Santora right there. He just commented, man, because I actually met him for the first time out at ICAST a few years ago, man, and ever since then we've always been kind of linked up, social media friends, but other than that, man, like we've always stayed connected, man, and huge shout out to that we can now be like a new family. So it's awesome to be a part of that with him. So.
Right on.
And you do owe me a fishing trip up there in PA, and I owe you a fishing trip down here. So whenever you're ready to come up, we holler, man. So
I like it. What's next on the build front for you? I know we kind of talked a little bit as before we started. So what's coming next? What can you give
Well,
us?
I guess there's a comment from this guy named Hogan Nash right there. I'm gonna just leave it at that. But he's the guy that dropped that boat off for me. He dropped a boat off for me Sunday afternoon, for me to build. He wants to run, the pan optics. He wanted to run the power port, all the power panels, and make it look clean to where it's to his likings, and what's going to be efficient for him to fish. And I'm very humbled for Hogan to drop that boat off for me. I don't know if he wants me to tell, what it is, but you can post on there if you want, what boat it is that I'm going to build. But I'll let you post that, man. But other than that, I'm very humbled that anybody, would let me, put holes in their boats for them. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, do it in a clean manner. Right. So,
Sure.
but yes, man, I'm very humbled to be able to, to do these things, because every day is a new day. Every day is a challenge. So when it's a different challenge, it's always a loving day. Regardless, we can have long days, long nights, man. But when we're doing what we love, it's hard to not smile, doing what you love. So, you could try to, you could tell yourself to, man, but I don't think you can, man. If you're saying, you love kayak fishing, if you love doing what you're doing out in the waters, man, just growing folks in the waters, showing folks how to kayak fish, no matter what model brand it is, like, as long as you're growing, the brands that are supporting you, then sky's the limit, man. Like, you should be smiling.
Winning.
You cannot smile,
Yeah.
And Wheezy, I love you, Wheezy. That's Fletch's mom too, by the way. So say hi, So yes. Hi, Wheezy. Love you. Yes.
I love it, man. I love it, dude. I appreciate you taking the time tonight to just sit down, chat, share a little bit of your story, because I know we only got a little bit in there, right? And
you got to really fish with me to know me. You got to hang out with me to really know me. But other than that, man, you just got to love me as much as you can when you see me, where you see me at. So, but
I love it, dude. I love it. Shout out where people could follow you, man. Like Instagram, man. Facebook.
You can find me on
YouTube
Instagram.
Or any of that.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Yak with Mike, YAK with Mike. You can find me on Facebook, Mike Manivanh, as you see in the name right there. And on top of that, man, follow me at Westbrook Supply Company, because as we are growing now, as we are moving forward to our bigger, bigger shop, we are going to, have more media. We're gonna have more follow alongs, so we're gonna have more updates on what's going on, with the Westbrook life out here. And on top of that, hey, what can we say? I'm gonna pull Beecher's ears, but what or not? But Westbrook Wednesday, it's got to come back, right? So I'm saying this now. I'm saying this now, but we talk about this, and one of the things is, we're forever growing, and I'm very humbled to be a part of the growth. But let's not talk about it. Let's be about it, right? So let's get this thing rolling, man, and let's start growing, right? So
hey, absolutely,
I'm all for it, man.
Absolutely. If you need help with that, like, you could pull one ear, I'll pull the other, because I'm all for that.
Yeah, well, he's got it heard, so he's got this thing live, so he's heard this right now. So left and right, whatever I'm doing right now, just enjoy it and take it how you want it.
I love it. I love it, man. I love it. Mike, thank you so much, dude.
Man,
I love you, brother.
Love you, bro.
You are just one of the most positive, influential people I've met, for sure. And you continue to do you, bro.
Hey, man.
And you're doing good things. I know Fletch dropped in the comments for sure. He said one of the best for sure. And I know that means something to you, bro. So I appreciate you. I love the fact that we get to watch you grow in the NuCanoe family, for sure. And I'm just excited to see what the future brings for you, brother.
My man Ramel just said that he is going to make a trip out there and check out your shop for sure. So with that being said, my man, yes, sir. And start bringing some of that innovative stuff that we haven't seen from like 2050 yet. So I know you got some stuff. So bring it from 2050 and bring it, and we're going to learn it together, and we're going to grow it from the east to west and just meet in the middle, baby.
And that's cool, man. I love that. I love that for sure. Cause there's such a divide, man, between like the West Coast and the rest of the country, and I had a long conversation with Romel about that this past week. So No, it's cool, man. And I know he mentioned in the comments earlier he wants to do a collab build with you guys. So
Man.
I can only imagine what that'll be like. So I'll be waiting.
Hey, yeah, y'all keep that suspense going because now the brain's turning right now about that build. So Fletch's brain is already turning before he even heard that. Before he even heard that comment. So yeah, so Fletch's brain is already running 100 miles an hour right now.
I'm sure. I appreciate you, brother. Everybody tuning in tonight, we appreciate you dropping in. We're here every Tuesday night, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, 5 o'clock out on the West Coast. We always got great people like Mike on the show. We talk to some of our dealers. We release new products here on the show as well. Mike, I appreciate you. Everybody go follow Mike on his Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff, man. Give this brother some love.
I appreciate it. And also one more thing. I'm sorry, Brian.
Yeah,
Outdoors, man. Amped Outdoors came above and beyond, man, with those batteries for us to power everything that we had in the boat. Huge shout out to Amped Outdoors as well, man. So, of course, with Yak Attack products, giving us all the camera mounts and all the products that we needed to power everything up and hold the fish mount and everything. So huge shout out to all those other sponsors. And I apologize to all the other sponsors that I did miss, but you are not forgotten, I promise, because you guys are included in all of our builds that we are building going forward. So
right on.
Thank you.
Right on. And if you guys missed those build videos, again, you can go back, watch them on the NuCanoe Facebook and YouTube channels. They're all there. There's a full walkthrough with Fletch and Mike on their build, a full walkthrough on Romel's build. If you guys haven't seen it, you guys need to go check it out.
Hey, Siri, Romel killed it. Hey, Siri, Romel killed it.
Hey, Siri.
He did. Yeah, he did.
Hey, Siri, find the fish for me. That was the joke.
It was. And Siri did answer. Error. Error.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Try again.
Yeah. Connection problems.
I love it, dude.
Right,
I will see you, brother. Everybody out there, we'll see you next Tuesday. As always, tight lines, smooth paddling. Peace.